Hey guys, I'm Jamie.
I'm Jenny.
And Jenny is going to do my nails today. We are going to do nail dips, which I've only done once before, and I have no idea how they work. So Jenny's going to kind of walk us through the process and show you what she uses, and we'll show you like how everything goes on. I have no idea. Like I said, I've done it once, but it was like almost a year ago, so it's time to do it again. Just so you know, you may hear little voices over here once in a while. This is Tucker. Say hi. Say hi, Tucker.
No.
No, he doesn't want to say hi. But you may hear his voice when he feels like it. So, Jenny, let's kind of focus down on these products just a little bit so you can show us what we're going to need to do the nail dips.
Yes.
So what you'll need is, first of all, your liquids that you use to apply the base dip. You need a base, an activator, and a top coat, which I have all here.
And she's using all the same brand. I'm going to show you this a little bit closer. This is Revel, not sponsored in any way, but she just really likes these products.
Yes.
So I'm sure you couldn't see those words, but this is Revel.
And then you'll need your powder that you're going to, so I'll just unscrew it and let you see what it looks like. This is just, it doesn't really look like much right now, and the color changes. You really don't know what it's going to look like until you finish the process, which is kind of cool. So we're going to be
light pink,
yes,
which is the
very
color
light pink. Name is Covetous. We may do a sparkle on top. Jamie hasn't decided yet. She's going to wait and see. So you need your liquids, your powder, always a brush to brush off the excess after you dip. I use it's like a dehydrator, a bond before you start dipping. I've got, I always have these, but I may not use them. Acetone you'll definitely use for removal. And alcohol, rubbing alcohol. And then I just have the files in a medium and fine grit, dotting tool, the cuticle pusher. It's not stuff that I need, but most of it is stuff that I use pretty much every time I do a manicure.
So I will say, most of you have probably noticed if you ever look at my hands in videos, I never do my nails. So this is what my nails look like 99.9% of the time. I am not easy on my nails. So I work in the children's room of a library. I am always touching paint and just making messes. And so this is a rare thing for me to do this. So we're going to start from the very beginning because my nails are kind of a mess. And so what's the first step?
First step is to prep your nail. That's really important, is to prep the nail. So you want to push back the cuticle. I like to buff it up a little bit because if your nail surface is super smooth and shiny, which is beautiful, the product is not going to stick well to it.
We'll focus the camera down on my nails just a little bit better so you can kind of see the process. So let's get started. We're going to buff it first.
Buff it or just push back. Do you want to bother pushing back your cuticles or no?
Push it back just a tiny bit. So I'm pushing back my own?
Yes. I'll do everything else, but I don't want to hurt you.
Push stop for a while. We're going to, so we're going to push back my cuticles first. So we're done with the, what are these called? Cuticle nippers?
Cuticle nippers.
So push back my cuticles with this thingy.
Cuticle pusher.
Cuticle pusher. I'm going to put this up a little.
I also use it. It makes a nice scoop to scoop some of the powders onto your nail.
Oh, good to know. And then clipped the cuticles with the cuticle nipper, which, yeah, that's not my favorite. So then what's the next step?
Next step is to lightly, I would say buff the nail, file it, so that it's just lightly, you've got it lightly filed and buffed so that you don't have a super smooth surface of your nail. Okay. You want a,
buffing the top.
And you're doing any shaping that you want to do if you want to change the shaping of your nails.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to buff, shape the fronts of my nails and then the tops with the buffer. Okay. How about you do it?
How do you want it shaped?
I don't know, like yours.
We got a lot of work
Hers
to
always
do.
look really nice. We're going out to dinner later, so I don't have time for extreme buffing, which is what my nails probably need because I never touch them, except with nail clippers.
And just so you know, for me, who is not a nail I would call you a nail novice. I'm not a nail novice. I would call myself more intermediate. I'm definitely not a nail technician or professional by any means, but I really do enjoy doing my nails. And now I've recently started doing a couple family nails. I did my cousin's nails
Did you show your nails?
I did not show my nails. Do you want me to show my nails?
I don't know if you can see her nails. She always has beautiful nails. So hers are like,
see them.
Hers are like shiny. They are like sparkly at the edges. So pretty. So pretty.
But I did, my cousin stayed with us last weekend, and I did a French manicure on her. So that was my first time actually doing somebody else's nails, which usually I'm like, no, I don't want to mess them up. But
we're forgiving.
Yes.
Family is forgiving.
Yeah, family's forgiving. My family's forgiving anyway. But anyway, if it was me, I would be using my e-file. But Jamie doesn't use an e-file, so we're just going to lightly...
You can use it if it's easier.
Oh, this is fine. I might use it later.
We will get back to you in a minute when all of the buffing and filing is done. Are you doing your nails, Tucker?
Yeah.
Yep. You're doing a good job. Tucky, are our nails all buffed?
No.
Nope. Well, my nails are buffed. All right, so nails are all buffed. So
I'm just going to...
what's the next step here? Jenny's brushing.
I'm just going to... I would normally use a different brush, but
She's got
this
a
is what I got.
toothbrush here.
So, yes, toothbrush. This gets off all of the excess powder. I used to use a brush with softer bristles, but it really needs something with a stiff bristles. All right.
So
Good enough.
toothbrushes apparently work really well.
Toothbrush is the best that
Maybe
I
not
found.
a used one,
Mommy
though.
has that.
Not a used one. All right, so now I'm just going to make sure the surface is all nice and clean so we don't have any oils or anything like that. I find any oils, and it's going to start lifting after a few days, and I want my mani to last as long as possible and Jamie's mani to last as long as possible.
So she's using alcohol.
Rubbing alcohol.
Okay.
And that's not going to affect your nails?
No.
The
No.
stuff that you're doing here? Okay.
No, the only thing that would affect it is acetone.
Okay. Which we're not using because we're not cleaning it off.
Or if I accidentally filed myself and not you.
Oh, gotcha. And Tucker's over here getting the stuff off his nails. Good job, buddy.
So now I'm going to apply the Bond Aid, the OPI Bond Aid.
So that's not Revel, that's OPI.
OPI, which I found on Amazon. And that just helps to, it helps the product to adhere better.
So she's just painting that on like nail polish. Oh,
What? Did that hurt?
no, but as it dries, it like...
Oh, yes.
It dries
You
super
can
fast.
see it's a
You can actually see it drying.
It's a dehydrator, so it definitely...
I'll try to focus in as I'm doing this so you can see it better, but that's
Show that
pretty cool.
hand.
So it's like all dried up already. So that was really fast. Which is good because I have a problem with like constantly touching my face or touching my hair, and it's already dry, so it's okay.
Yeah, don't touch anything until I'm done.
I already did.
All right, let that dry for a minute. This also makes a really good stirring tool. So I'm going to open up our Covetous, and I'm just going to stir it up a little bit.
So about how much do these dips cost? Like each individual dip?
Depending on the size you get, Revel in particular, because I pretty much only buy Revel now because I started off with a couple of different companies. I started dipping in April 2020. It was just coincidence that it was at the beginning of quarantine. I hardly ever went to the salon before, mainly to get pedicures. But I started with a couple of other companies, then found Revel, and Revel is I think it's got the best quality of the ones that I've found. And I do tend to move toward the less expensive brands, but Revel I think is great products. This is a 1 ounce jar. They have 5 ounce, 1 ounce, and 2 ounces. I can't remember what the 1 ounce jar, I've only bought a couple of their 1 ounce jars. The nice thing with Revel is that sometimes if you'll purchase a 0.5 ounce, half ounce, and they'll upgrade you to a 1 ounce.
Oh,
So
nice.
This I actually purchased in a half ounce, I'm pretty sure, and I was upgraded to the 1 ounce. The 5 ounces are 0.5 ounces, I believe, are $7.99, and
Okay.
I think the 1 ounce is $15.99, $14.99 or $15.99, somewhere around
So
there.
comparable to nail polish.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I think we're ready.
So the next step is what?
I'm going to start building an apex. I am going to start with the base coat, which is step 1. Apex is pretty much, I'm going to make the do a coat first toward the tip of the nail, about half the way down. I don't want it as thick at the base because then you're going to have more buffing in order to make it look more natural. So I'm going to do about half the way down her nail, and then about 3/4 of the way down her nail, and then I'll do 2 dips going from the base all the way to the tip.
Okay.
And I'm going to try not to knock over any of my stuff.
So we're starting with
I'm going to have you move
this
just
Pro
over this way.
Base. So this is the first product she's using. It's this Revel Pro Base. I'm sure you can't see that, but it's Pro and then BASE. And it looks like another kind of nail polish kind of thing.
It's really important to do nice thin layers, because if you do thick layers, it's going to, especially once you get further along, it's going to flood the cuticle, or could flood the cuticle, and then it's going to lift faster.
So she just painted like the top of my nail with that.
And I'm avoiding the sides for now too, as much as possible, just about halfway down, going a little bit over. Are we able to see it?
I'll do a little bit of a close-up more.
Pretty nails.
So I'll show you what those nails look like right now, because obviously you can see the powder kind of surrounding them, but you can also see that sort of rounded area at the tip there. So that's where she's painting that Pro Base and then dipping it into the dip. All right, so we're going to do the rest of that, and we will come back when that part is done. All right, so we're all done with the tips. I'll show you a little bit closer up. So you can see there's kind of powder all over my fingers, but you can see it's a little bit heavier there in the middle where she painted the Pro Base. So now
we're going to brush off the excess with my handy dandy toothbrush.
Sounds like something from
I was just thinking like Blue's Clues, because Tucker was just watching Blue's Clues. Were you watching Blue's Clues? Yeah. So I'll show you my nails after she gets that stuff brushed off. Yeah, nice thing about doing so many layers is that if you mess something up, you'll fix it on the next one. I'm gonna show.
So here's what it looks like with all that stuff brushed off. So you can see hopefully a little bit closer, but just at the tips, there's like a little like half moon. All right, next step.
Next step, which is now we're gonna go 3/4 of the way down the nail.
So this is the
apex. So this is the apex method.
The apex. So she's, hopefully you can see a little bit better that we moved the camera a little bit. So she's gonna paint a little bit further down on my nail, like a little further past the first half moon, and dip that in for each finger. All right, so there you can see, hopefully it's a little bit further down. You can see it's all the way down to there. We're going to do that with the rest of my nails. She's all done with the next level of dip, so they're down to there. So you're going to brush off the excess now, right?
With my handy dandy toothbrush. Hey, you.
We found an ant. Kill ant.
I'll do just the left hand for now, because I'm going to let the other, since we just finished that one, I'll let that sit for a couple more minutes before I brush it off.
Okay, so we are on layer number 3 of this paint and then dip. So we're going to do 2 more layers. So I'm assuming she's going to do like the next area up, and then the 4th one will be all the way to the end.
I'm going to do 2 dips all the way to the end. So this one is going to go all the way, and the next one will go all the way.
All right.
And one phrase that we like to use, at least in my Revel community group, because there are dipping powder community Facebook groups, but one phrase that people will use is trust the process. You will see at the end, this is going to look fantastic once we buff it and all of that.
It may seem to take forever, but it's worth it, is what she's saying, right?
It may look kind of crazy at the moment, but it's going to look fantastic at the end.
I really like the color when you put the Pro Base back on top. Is that the color it's going to be, basically?
That's going to be closer, closer than what it looks like when it's... So I'm just using my dotting tool now that I'm going to the end. I'm using my dotting tool to get around so that it's not touching her cuticle at all. If it's touching the cuticle, it will definitely lift faster.
And I was just telling Jenny, I'm a picker, so if something is lifting off my nail, I'm definitely going to pick at it, and
I don't think you guys can see me shaking my head at her right now. Don't pick it.
We don't want picking.
It will ruin your nails. But, I mean, if it was lifting for me, it drives me crazy. That's when I'm like, okay, it's time to do a new set.
Yeah. I don't have the patience to sit here and do this often. So, like I said, it's been almost a year since the last time we did this.
See, the difference between Jamie and me is that Jamie has 2 full-grown children. I have 4 children. The oldest is 11, and the youngest is behind me. The big 3 you're not hearing today because they're at camp. But they range in age from 2 to 11, so this is my me time. Usually I'll do it after the kids go to bed, and watch a movie, probably that I've seen before, or put on some Real Housewives.
And you can, obviously she's a lot busier than I am now because, you know, she has 4 young children and I do not. I have 2 teenagers. So, or, you know, teenagers, they're 19, almost 20 and 18. So, not really even, they don't need me to be around that much. So, the fact that she has the time to do this all the time is kind of amazing. So we're going to finish up this step, which is just the painting 2 different layers. I feel really close to the camera right now, and we will get back to you when those steps are done.
Sorry about Tucker.
All right, so she has finished putting on all of the layers of the first dip, the Covetous color, which is like that light pink. And now Jenny is brushing off all the excess powder from my nails. And then while you're doing that, what's the next step?
Well, the next step, Jamie did decide that she's going to go for bubbly. So we're going to put a little sparkle. Sorry, I don't know if I told you that bubbly is the sparkly one.
So you have sparkles on your fingers. Is that the same kind of thing?
It's not. This is a different one.
Oh, okay. Hers are like bigger glitter.
What I have done, if you can see it, I've done an ombre, a glitter ombre, with a different color base. It's yeah, I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, I tapped on the glitter as opposed to what Jamie's doing where I'm just dipping the nail in. I would apply the base, the liquid, tap with a brush the glitter on, and then I pour over the solid color. So it takes a lot longer. Jamie, where she wanted to have pretty nails but didn't want to take quite as much time on them, we went for
I'm so impatient. Here you go, you can finish.
Okay.
I have a hungry husband waiting at home for dinner, so
My
not that
husband's at
he
work.
can't get dinner on his own, but we were going to go get dinner together. so he won't get dinner without me. All right, so the next step is to do basically the same thing we've been doing, except with a different color now.
Yeah,
so I'm going to move the camera down so you can see what she's doing with this one. This is the bubbly.
This one is really fun.
Ooh.
So I don't know if you can see.
Oh,
If you want to see, hang on, let's show the color on the tablecloth that I just dipped out.
Jenny just spilled it all over, so that...
Luckily, there's a lot in here, so
it's very sparkly.
I don't know if you can see it, if you can see the sparkles, but
close enough. So, put a little...
Good thing this is the tablecloth that I use for craft fairs, so it'll have lots of sparkle on it now.
All right, so we're going to move on to that last step of the actual dipping, right?
Yes.
So she's using, again, just the base coat, or Pro Base, and then painting that on the nail, dipping it in the dip, and then, I don't know, did you show before? Yes, she does the little, like...
The dotting tool?
Polka dotting tool to go around the... Don't laugh. You'll mess up my beautiful nails. So we'll do a couple and show you, and then we won't show you every nail because that'll get long and boring.
Bubbly is so fun.
Ooh, I like that. So I don't know if you can see, but it is definitely sparklier now that the bubbly is on there. See the sparkles? Ooh, I like that. It's going to be super
Sparklier.
cute. All right, so she's going to finish that hand and the other hand, and then we'll show you the next step. Okay, so we have one little nail to fix here, but here's the next step. It's this is the sparkle stuff that's on there now. Bubbly. And Jenny has to just like clean off one of the nails. And then what's the next step after that?
The next step, they made it foolproof for me. So the next step is number 2. Can you see the 2? 2, which is the activator. And the activator is the magic. I don't know how it works, but this is what hardens the powder so that then you can buff it and really buff the bejesus out of it. So
right now it looks really matte, like matte matte. So this is going to make it shinier, right? What?
This will not really make it shinier. No,
okay.
It's the top coat, step 3, which really makes it shiny.
Gotcha. All right. So you're just going to paint that on.
Yes.
Don't forget about this nail.
I won't forget about it.
Okay.
So So my first rodeo.
So
This is kind of gonna show you what the color is gonna look
that
like.
looks so pretty. I'll show you in a second.
I don't know if you can hear Tucker, but my mom's watching him. Our mom is watching him.
He sounds very happy in there. We don't know what he's doing, but he sounds very happy. All right, so this is the first hand, so I don't know how well you can see that color, but it's definitely a little more sparkly than it was. I really like that light pink. I was just saying to Jenny, I prefer nail colors that are a little bit closer to skin color because, well, for one, if they chip, it's, you know, not that big a deal because it's not as noticeable, but also because I just think they're classic and they go with everything.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't always agree with you, but on this I do. But this stuff doesn't chip really. Sometimes, I mean, it'll chip if you really bang your hand on something, but it's much less likely to chip than regular nail polish. I'm just going to give it one more before the buffing starts.
Is the buffing immediate?
Give it about a minute or two and then, yes.
So she's going to finish this part and then we'll be back to show you how the buffing goes. Okay, next step is what?
Filing, buffing.
All right, so she's just going to use the nail file. We're actually going to go over there and use the e-file in a minute, but we're going to show you the file. So she's actually like buffing the top of my nail, which makes me nervous. I'm going to go down here and show you a little bit better, but...
Why does it make you nervous?
Because all the good work you just did is going to come off, I'm afraid.
Not all the good work. Some of the good work.
All right, so anyway, she's buffing that.
It's going to work.
All right, it's going to work. I'm trusting the process.
Trust the process.
All right, we're going to file these down and buff them, and we'll be back. Okay, so I think we're getting toward the end here. I know this video is getting very long. Sorry about that. But we're on the last step. So here are my nails. Jenny's doing, she just buffed both hands, all the nails on both hands. So now she's doing the, which one was this again? The
activator.
The
yes.
activator on my... She's already done this hand, so she's going to do the activator on this hand. So
one more time.
So while this is drying, I'm going to have her walk you through the steps again super quickly, just because I'm afraid we left things out, but I think she can walk through really fast. And
have you met me? I don't do anything fast.
Yeah. Obviously. We've been doing this for an hour and 45 minutes now. It's a long process, but like Jenny said, it's
so worth it.
Worth it. All right. So while that's drying a little bit, I'm going to have Jenny show you the products really quickly and the order she does them really quickly.
The order is very easy. Step 1. Step 2, step 3. No. So step 1, dip. Step 1, dip. Step 1, dip. Step 2, buff. And then step 3.
So we primed the nails, got them ready, pushed back the cuticles, cut that off. Then Jenny put this step number 1 on, which is the Pro Base. Then the dip, so that, and she did that in sections so that it would not be too bumpy toward the back of the nail. And then she did this over all the nails, number 2, which was the activator, buffed my nails, did the activator again, and now we're about to do the last one, which is the
top coat
finish gel,
which is what makes it really, really shiny and smooth and just perfect.
So I'm going to show you my nails before we put that on, the finish gel. So this is with just the activator, and we'll do the finish gel after this. All right, ready? This is the part I get excited about.
All right, I did this one first, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna do all, because you have to put it on in 2 coats. You do the first coat and you let it dry for about a minute, and then you do the second coat. So what I like to do is 1 hand at a time. I will do all 5 fingers on 1 hand, and then go through and do all 5 fingers again. Nice light coat, just like everything. The first coat should be pretty thin, quick strokes, and then the second one you take your time a little bit more. Always avoiding that cuticle. There's the first one. You can see that it kind of, you guys can't see it on the camera, but it kind of looks a little bit matte, and now it's going to come through.
There you go. Still shinier than it was. All right. So she's going through again because it's been about a minute since she started the first one. And she's going through and doing those again. And then she's going to do the same thing on my other hand. So I will show you the finished product when they're all done. All right, we are on the very last step. It's about time. It has been almost 2 hours. So, so I sent my husband to go get dinner for both of us. So here are my nails right now. They're a little shiny, so I don't know how well you can see. I'm sure you'll see in my next few videos. Jenny's gonna do the last part, which is
Cuticle oil. Ooh. So I don't know.
So is this Revel as well?
This is Revel also. They have 3 different types of this kind. They also have a cuticle oil pen, but this is the peach mango. They also have almond and wildflower. All right, so we're just gonna put a little bit. You put it at the cuticles and then just rub it around. Rub it all over the. Just give you a little dot there. What?
So she's really just like painting a quick little swipe
just
across
a little bit,
the cuticle.
A little bit goes a long way.
And then she's rubbing it in.
In case you can't see.
I really like someone doing things for me.
They couldn't tell.
It's like I have my own personal nail technician. So there's the cuticle oil all rubbed in. I feel like my cuticles are so healthy. Don't my cuticles look healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are Auntie Jamie's nails pretty?
Are my nails pretty, Tucky?
Yeah, pretty.
Yep,
Pretty
pretty. You heard it
nails.
here, folks. Tucker thinks my nails are pretty.
Are Papa's nails pretty?
No. No.
Papa's nails are not pretty, apparently.
All right.
All right, nails are done. Here's the finished product. So pretty. I'll take a picture of these and make it my thumbnail so you guys can see. So they're really pretty and they feel nice and thick. Like they feel very healthy.
Not too thick, but strong.
Right. Like I'm not going to break them in 2 seconds. So yeah. Thank you, Jenny.
You're
These are
welcome.
great. I'm so excited. So you'll get to see my nails. That cuticle oil even smells
good.
You'll get to see my nails in my next few videos because hopefully I won't tear them off in a week. Jenny will be very mad at me if I tear them off in a week, so I won't do that. And we have a family trip coming up on Sunday, so that's why we did my nails. So they'll be pretty for our family trip. Jenny's going to do our other sister Shay's nails tomorrow, so we'll all have really nice nails. So anyway, I think I'm going to take you guys along with us on our family trip. We're going to Maine for the day. So when I say family trip, it's going to be the 5 of us, our parents, and the 3 girls. So we do this once a year. No kids, no husbands, just the 5 of us. So we're going to do that on Sunday, and I think we're going to take you along for the trip, so that'll be fun. So I will...
That's saying wrap it up.
I will see you soon. We're taking too long. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.